think we've got some questions from the Twitterverse.
Probably carrying on from the last question, really, about sort of innocent social media kind of strategy, if you want to kind of give it such a big name.
Yeah.
You're kind of held up as a shining example of how to do social media.
Yeah.
I'm interested in, I guess my question is, was it a thought-out strategy, or did the social taunt come with a natural kind of extension to the voice of innocent, if you like?
No, but that's a very good question. Yeah, no, I think actually, if I just think about it is purely come from what all the best things in innocent come from. Is there's been an individual that's passionate about something, and they've just gone with it, and no one ever came to ask me if they could. I don't even understand it. I know there's a guy called Ted. Yeah. And he is Mr. sort of the future. He might as well turn up wearing a silver spacesuit as far as I'm concerned. And he's just doing these things. I've never asked him. He's never asked me. He's just doing it. And I love that about having people that are passionate and do what they do best.
Yeah.
And that's the job of the person running the business. Find out what does the business need and what's the individual great at, and match those two things up, and then you're off to the races. But no, it's not a thought-out strategy. We probably need one, is the truth of it. We've just been doing things spontaneously because we care about these things and we're interested.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't understand it. We should or we shouldn't. But we're big believers in you test by doing.
Yeah. I have conversations with business every day that are kind of really scared about getting into it. And it goes back to that thing that you talk about, feedback. And they're scared about it because they don't want to kind of hear the negative stuff coming back. And these conversations happened. I was at a tech conference last week, and in a complete diverse kind of audience to this, but they're all like on Twitter, so there's like a real-time feedback to what was going on in front of them. And I think businesses are kind of quite worried about that. What kind of bit of advice could you give to other businesses about kind of getting involved and engaged in the conversations that are going on out there?
Oh, well, I think you should be absolutely paranoid about not hearing what people are saying rather than paranoid about hearing it. I mean, you've got to go out and seek the bad news much more than the good news. I'm intensely grateful to the consumer that complains to us.
Yeah.
It's because I know for everyone that does, there's at least another 10 that hasn't. So the job of the business is to be as absolutely as porous and as open, as welcoming and as always on and as convenient as possible to get that feedback. You've got to make it as easy as possible. That's why it says on our bottle, if you're bored or you just want to get in contact, then ring the banana phone, come around and see us at Fruit Towers, visit the website, email us. You know, we'll have a YouTube channel, we'll have a Facebook page, we'll have a Flickr thing, things I don't know yet. I mean, we want to be everywhere. You've got to wiretap society to try and give people. You've got to make it as easy as possible for them to tell you what's rubbish, because that's the most valuable thing you're going to get.